Well, the story of vaccination in rural India is the one that is filled with myths. Myths and misinformation around vaccination on your WhatsApp, on social media forwards as well. We've picked out for you the top 10 myths, and we will get a response to that from medical experts on the program so that you don't believe me, you don't believe your WhatsApp forward or anything that people are saying, but only the sound advice of your doctor. Let's begin with myth number 1 that is circulating all the way on social media. This one says that if you take a COVID vaccine, it will first cause fever and then it can lead to possible death as well. Basically saying that the vaccine will cause death, not the virus. Myth number 2, again about side effects, saying that it will not show up right now, but in 2 to 3 years, you will start seeing things happen to your body which will be out of your control. So don't get vaccinated because there will be a long-term impact. Myth number 3. This is a really strange one, which says COVID vaccines can cause autism in your offsprings, suggesting that people who take the COVID vaccine, their offsprings will end up having some sort of dysfunctional sort of body parts in a way, or could have other sort of issues with them as well. Myth number 4. Vaccines, and this is a very popular one, an absolute lie really, which one says that vaccine can contribute to infertility. This is the major fear in rural India. Myth number 5 says that vaccine can impact your menstrual cycle and cause miscarriages as well. So men and women are getting scared in rural India of taking the vaccine because they feel it will impact their reproductive system. Myth number 6. Again, this is something that people in rural India believe when they say they work in the farms, they have great immunity, and as long as they're taking care of themselves, vaccines, their immunity cannot match them. They feel they don't need the vaccine at all. They dismiss the idea of taking a vaccine. Myth number 7. And this is a conspiracy theory really, which is extremely false to start with, but this is what is circulating on various WhatsApp groups, on websites as well, saying that the vaccine is actually a poisonous injection and this is being given to people to try and impact them in some way. There is another one. Again, misinformation but popular. This one says that COVID vaccine is a ploy by the government to control population. This is again heard a number of times in rural India in conversations that happen over there. Myth number 9, this one, extremely bizarre, says that the COVID vaccine has some inbuilt microchips that help the United States government to track citizens. Now, God knows where is science in all of this, but we'll return to this as well. And then finally, there is this extremely popular one which says that the COVID vaccine is a ploy by China to alter and manipulate the human race. Now, I don't know your reaction to all of these, but any right-thinking person would know that these are all false. But again, this is a belief for many in rural India. And not just a belief on social media platforms, something which is actually seen in numbers as well. And let's bring you those numbers now. The worrying trend of vaccination seen in urban India versus rural India. We'll begin with Bihar. About 60% of Bihar is currently, as we speak, vaccinated, first or second dose. That's a tabulated figure that we're bringing you at the moment. Versus 5% only of the rural population in Bihar. Madhya Pradesh, their urban districts like Indore, Bhopal, Gwalior range between 25 to 27% of vaccination. But guess what? The rural districts are throwing in terms of percentages. Just 8, 10, maximum is 11 over there. Look at Maharashtra next. Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, all going up to almost 48% at one point. And remember, these are the places where people are queuing up and they're not just finding a vaccine for themselves. Cut to the reality of rural districts in the same state, where 17%, 18% is the vaccination figure so far. Punjab, where most of these places we've seen very poor vaccination. 9%, 4%, even 7% in some areas. Bengal, for example, again, 14 rural districts in Bengal where the maximum vaccination has been in one of those areas is actually 15.35% over there. Rajasthan, well, another story where lots of rural ground is not covered with vaccination, just about 12, 16, 17, 18% over there. So really, the bottom line here is that there is a great mismatch and a paradox in the vaccination story in the country, rural versus urban. And if India wants to defeat this virus in this fight that is going on right now, there are only 3 words for it: vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. And till the time it does not reach our rural population, we will not be able to win this battle.